Rabbi we are in the final week of Surah Sa'imer, the Surah of Malchus. That's the Surah that we are focusing on the entirety of this week. And my apologies, I was not here last night to kick off the week of Malchus with Chesed Shebamlchut, of course, Yom Yerushalayim, the day of Chesed Shebamlchut. But today we arrive at the mid of Gvura Shebamlchut, tonight and tomorrow. It's important to begin with just a short understanding of what the Midah of Malchus is. It's difficult to explain and to describe what Malchus is, because the Zohar Kodesh tells us that Malchus isn't anything, meaning Leis Be Migar Me Klum. It's not its own thing. Malchus is not its own entity. It is the container, the platform upon which everything else exists. And to that end, Malchus, in terms of avoda, when we talk about the world of Malchus, of course, that means the Malchus of David HaMelech, the Malchus of Mashiach, the Malchus of Tefillah, the Malchus of Torah Sheba'al Peh, Malchi Rabbanon, that the Rabbanon are Chazal, are Malchus, that sovereignty that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has in this world, that in HaKadosh Baruch Hu be'olama ela daled omen shel halacha bilvad, that what HaKadosh Baruch Hu still has in this world of Malchus Shamayim, of the four Amos of Halacha. All of that is within the world of Malchus, but we should talk about what Malchus is, I suppose, the way that we understand it, the way that we experience it. The whole world that we live in today is the world of Malchus. And there are two possibilities of Malchus in general. Malchus can either be Malchus Hashem, Malchus Shamayim, or it could be Malchus something else. Something else is the Melech in this world. And if we live in a world where HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the Melech, so then the whole world looks one way. And if we live in a world where anything else is the Melech, anyone, anything, any philosophy, any ideology, any perspective, then it's not Malchus Hashem. And the purpose of Klal Yisrael in the world is to make this world a place of Malchus Shamayim. This is what the Medrash Tanchuma speaks about, and what the Alter Rebbe made famous, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu liyos l'dira b'tachtani, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants it to be that in this world there should be the presence of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, meaning Malchus Hashem should be manifest and felt in a tangible way in this world. That's the purpose of Klal Yisrael. Va'yah Hashem lemelech al kol haaretz. Hashem echad u'shmo echad. That there will be a time that the whole world will recognize that no other Malchus is real. Only HaKadosh Baruch Hu is real. That none of the other priorities, none of the other philosophies, none of the other understandings of the world, that none of that was real. It's only HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Which means that the world of Malchus has a very promising side to it and a very dark side to it. Malchus can either be a representation of all things that are good and true and right, emes in the world, that is the world of Tiferes, reflected in the world of Malchus, or Malchus could be Sheker Gomer. It's possible to live in a world of Malchus that is absolutely meaningless. It's not true at all. And the Pasuk says this explicitly. And it's an interesting thing. The two things that are most Malchustic in this world, that are outside of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, not that there's anything outside of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but outside of recognizing the Malchus of Hashem in the world, Pasuk says, Va'oshe va'akavod milfanecha, va'ata moshel b'ko. What does it mean, Va'oshe va'akavod milfanecha? Those two things, Osher and Kavod, are fascinating things. Wealth and honor. Because neither of them are real. No, they're not real. Kavod, it's very easy to see. Kavod is not real. You can't touch it, feel it, taste it, put it in an envelope, mail it to a friend. It's not. It is all in the imagination of the people that are talking about it. That's where Kavod exists. Honor only exists in people's imagination. It's not a real thing. And people kill for it and die for it, for this thing called Kavod. It's amazing. It's like, try and explain that to a chimpanzee. Doesn't understand, right? Likewise, I hope I'm not going to offend anybody with this, but money is also not real. Anybody that's ever invested in Bitcoin knows that for certain. But it's not just that Bitcoin's not real. No money, paper money is not real. It's It's a representation of some value of something. And today, the thing that we call money is so much more abstract and abstract and abstract and abstract of that. It's not a real thing. It's not a real thing. Stand is a real thing. Sefer is a real thing. Person's a real thing. Stocks on options of a probability of a... It's there because we imagine it to be there. It's all in my dimyon. It's all in human imagination. It's an amazing thing. But it's possible for a person to spend their whole life dedicated to Osher and Kavod. It's malchustik, which means that it's infinite. It's possible to live that way infinitely. Because there's malchus in there. Because it's all in human imagination, it's all in human perception. Which means that the avoda of the week of malchus is to clarify what's real and what's fake. That's the avodah bichlal in the world of malchus, is to figure out this container upon which everything rests, in which everything resides. What's real and what is mamish not. Which brings us to the avodah of Gvura Malchus. There are two sides to it. There is acting with Gvura to live in the Malchus of Hashem. And that means all of the avodas that we've spoken about for the past 6 weeks, of working hard on ourselves and fighting against the Yetzer Hara, in order to understand that I'm an Eved of the Melech Malach HaMelech HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Rebbeinu Shalom is the Melech, and I'm an Eved of the Melech, and I'm dedicating my life with Mesiras Nefesh, with Yiras Shamayim, to understand that I'm supposed to be a Eved to the Melech Malach HaMelech HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And I'd like to be part of that Malchus Shamayim. I don't want to be part of some other Malchus, and I'm certainly not going to act with Gvura for something that's Sheker. I'm going to be part of Malchus Shamayim. And that is the whole avodah of davening, and of learning, and Mesiras Nefesh, and fighting the Yetzer Hara, and acting with honesty and integrity. All of that avodah of breaking out of all of the things that I want to do, because I'm an Eved Hashem. That's the world of Gvura Malchus. But there's another part of Gvura Malchus, which is Ben Adam La'atzmei, Ben Adam L'Chaveru, Ben Adam L'Makam, which is that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to be the representation of His Malchus in this world, which means not just that I am an Eved Hashem, but also that I am a Melech. I'm a Melech on everything else that's going on around me. Meaning the purpose of the Jewish people is not simply to sit in a basement-based medrash and rub our hands together and say, Ana Avdu Dekucha Brichu, and like nothing else. The purpose is, Klal Yisrael is supposed to do something for the rest of the world. Mamleches Kohanim v'Goy Kodesh. The avodah is for us to do things because we're now Avdei Hashem. That now means we are taking charge of the world. HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants us to imitate Him, the same way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a Melech. The job of the Jewish people is to be Mamlech ourselves on our Yetzer Hara, on our environment, in a way, exactly like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Exactly like HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Means, Mahu Nikra Rachum Afatah Rachum. Just like the Rebbeinu Shalom is called Rachum, you should also be Rachum. You should have mercy. You should act with compassion. Imitate Odev, Allah to be Rachum means to work hard, Bigvura. Bigvura, to imitate the Malchus of Hashem in the world. Not just to serve it, but to represent it. And that also requires a tremendous amount of gvura. It means walking around and saying, "I'm not just an eved. I'm not, I'm not simply a peon in a system." And HaKadosh Baruch Hu has, told me that this is what I have to do, and chas v'shalom, if I step out of line, He's going to kill me. No, you are charged not just with an avdus, but with a malchus. That there's a mission, that there's a vision, that there's something, and that has to work with gvura. You need tremendous gvura to represent something that other people mamish don't believe in and don't agree with, and that requires a deep sense of gvura. Now, there's 1,000 more things to say about this avodah, but this central nekuda of understanding that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the melech, and therefore I want to be a melech in His service. That's the ikar of the avodah of Gvura Malchus, to be continued.